Hi, it's Matt here from Go Green Auto. So in this video we're going to look at this van, the Toyota Proace Electric, and going to look at all the facts and figures, the cargo space, the weights, and all the information you need to see whether one of these vans would suit you. So it is getting a bit dark now, so I hope this is coming across okay on the camera. But anyway, this is the Toyota Proace, as I said. The same van is also available as a Vauxhall or Opel Vivaro, the Fiat Scudo, the Peugeot e-Expert and the Citroen e-Dispatch. And they're available with either a 50 or 70 kilowatt hour battery there under the floor. This one is the 50 kilowatt hour pack, but it doesn't really make any difference in terms of the cargo space. It just makes a difference on the payload, which I'll get to that a bit later. And this van, being the Toyota, is just available in the medium wheelbase, which is the most common, but the Toyota version of these is only available in the one body size. I'm not sure about all the others, but obviously this video is just referring to the medium wheelbase. So these vans have a sliding door on both sides, and it is also a very wide door, wide enough to get a Euro pallet in there. And then on this side they've also got this hatch here, which is what they call smart cargo. It's not really that smart, it's just a door, but anyway, it allows you to load long items through. At the moment there is the charge cables there, but there is a solid plate here, so you do have to lift the seat up there. Let's get rid of these charge cables. But yeah, you can then load long items all the way through, so very handy if you want to carry timber, conduit, copper pipe, stuff like that. So anyway, I'll go and get the tape measure and we will double check all these dimensions. So I do find that numerous times manufacturers make mistakes in their brochures when it comes to the facts and figures and weights and things, so you can't always trust what you read in the sales brochures. But anyway, in terms of total cargo volume, the figure the manufacturer states is 5.8 cubic meters, but that is including the storage space at the front. The actual rear cargo area, they don't put a figure on it. So I've done some rough maths and it's about 5.5 cubic meters for this medium wheelbase model. To put that into context, a Nissan ENV200 is 4.2 cubic meters and a Maxus e-Deliver 3 is 4.8 cubic meters. So these are obviously a step up in terms of size. So let's do some measurements. So the floor length going up to the rubber seal is 2.5 meters. So I'll put on the screen the actual millimeters that the manufacturer states, but I guess for most people you don't need to be as accurate as going down to the nearest millimeter. So the distance between the wheel arch boxes, this is obviously ply lines, you're going to lose a little bit there, but most people will ply line their van anyway. We're looking at just over 4 foot, 123 centimetres. And then the height, let's take it from the floor, the ply floor, because that's a little bit higher. We're looking at 122 centimetres again. Yeah, the lowest part, yeah, 122 centimetres. So next looks at the maximum width, forgetting the wheel arch boxes. The narrowest point looks to be about there, which is 5 foot, 152 centimetres. I'll just jump back to the length again, because that bulkhead does kick out behind the seats, as they all do. So I'm just going to measure from the metal bulkhead. I think I can hook the tape measure in there, that's it, to the door sill, and we're looking, well, let's slam the door. Right, so the door shuts there, so we're looking at virtually 7 foot 2 inches, but it's 217 centimetres. So next let's measure that total length if you want to put things through that hatch and into that passenger footwell. And I've checked where the door shuts, so we are looking at a total maximum load length of 357 centimetres, so 3.57 metres, so plenty long enough to put your pipe or conduit, which is great, because on an electric van you don't really want to be loading stuff on the roof. That just adds noise, because these are lovely and quiet, so you don't want the extra noise. That extra drag is also going to consume more energy and therefore reduce your range as well. So the more you can store inside the van, the better. But of course, the other thing people are going to want to know is, can you fit a 6x4 sheet in the back? Well, here's my 6x4 sheet, in this case polystyrene, so I can do it one-handed. So yes, it fits between the wells, and it fits there as well. So yes, you can load 6x4 sheets in this van. But like all bulkheads, they do bulge out, so you're only going to get 6x4 sheets on the floor to a height of about something like 10 inches. So that does mean that you can't stand up 6x4 sheets. Well, the height is good enough, it's just the length. Now let's look at the total weight you can carry in these vans, the payload. So it does depend on what size battery you've got. If you've got the 50 kilowatt hour pack, you can actually put more weight in your van because that battery is lighter. So this one is the 50. So on this van, the payload is 1,050 kilograms to 1,226 kilograms, depending on the equipment in the van. If it was the 75 kilowatt hour pack, then that does reduce because the pack is heavier, and it drops down to 824 to 1,000 kilograms. So on both models you can carry approximately 1 ton of weight, which is great, and most people won't carry around that sort of amount of weight in a van this size. But it does mean if you do want to pick up, say, a jumbo bag of stone or ballast or something, then they weigh about 800 kilos, I think, even though they're not actually a ton. But yeah, it does mean you can put that one of those in the back of this van and it will be fine. I've actually done a video on that as well, so if you want to see the difference in fuel efficiency driving this van empty versus with a weight in the back, then I'll put a link up in the top and also in the description below, so you can watch that video, because there's an assumption on these electric vans that they're hopeless when they've got a weight in. So I did a test to prove how much more energy it uses when the van is loaded versus unloaded. So the final thing I'll just discuss is towing, because these vans are actually rated for towing, which is great, because most manufacturers, they don't bother with the electric vehicles because they're not selling them in enough numbers for them to go to the effort of homogenizing them. I think that's the word. But they have on these, and these can tow, and the figures are 750 kilograms with an unbraked trailer, or 1,000 kilograms with a braked trailer. And on these, actually, there is a sticker up here on the dash to say that the gross train weight of this vehicle can exceed 3.5 tonne, so therefore you will need a tachograph when towing a trailer. So yes, because these can tow quite a bit and also carry quite a bit, you've just got to watch your gross train weight. But it's probably unlikely anyone will be doing that on the electric model. Even with the bigger battery, it's not the sort of vehicle you're going to be wanting to load up to the maximum and towing a trailer as well. Final things in terms of practicality: the rear doors do open 180 degrees, so you can load with a forklift. We've got a light up there and another light sort of in the middle of your 2 sliding doors. You've got 6 tie down points in the floor. These do also have a full-size spare hanging underneath. We've got reversing sensors on the back as well. And then back to the front in terms of practicality, obviously you can lift this seat up if you want to carry stuff on the floor. Let's just move these charge cables again. Then this middle seat can open up and you've got a bit of a storage compartment down there. It's not very big. It's got this polystyrene insert which does limit it a little bit. The armrest, well, the back of this middle seat does pull out, and you've got a swivelling table there that you can eat your lunch off. In terms of dash storage, you've got a pretty decent sized glove box for modern day standards, shelves there, a very deep bin here, a storage bit there, ideal for your mobile phone. Supposedly you could put a pen in there, but that probably wouldn't stay there when you're driving. A very deep pocket on the top of the dash. The cup holders are in the top of the dash, which aren't ideal, they're not very good for tall cups. But the thing that is impressive is your door bins. They're absolutely huge. I don't think I've seen door bins so big on any other vehicle. So a big area there, big area there, another little bit there, and then this bit isn't part of that, so that's a separate little bit there. And this bulkhead is nice thick steel, very strong. You do have a window up here with a metal mesh on this side. There's not much point because your rear doors aren't glazed, and on this particular model there isn't an option to have rear glazed doors, so you can't really see much in the back, so that's a bit pointless. But you do have a rear view mirror and that window there in the bulkhead. So that's it for this video. If you found this video useful, please do click that thumbs up button on YouTube. That really does help other people find the channel. And I've done plenty of other videos on these vans, so use the search function, just search for Proace and you'll see all the other videos on this. And if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below, and yeah, I'll answer all your questions. So I'll see you on the next video.